Hi, welcome. We are Global Prosperity Academy. This is our ultimate leadership community, and I am so grateful for waking up this morning in my right mind, but also having a community of people that I can share my life with and learn and grow with.
Michael Maxwell, Grand Rising, and Grand Rising, everyone in the room. My name is Joy, and I am here to share that, and also grateful that I can find joy in a time such as this. Welcome.
My name is Alexei Musienko. I'm from Los Angeles, California. Good morning, Joy. It's a beautiful morning at that. I'm truly grateful to have this amazing family and the most amazing people in my life. So take it away, Max.
Grand Rising, Alexei. I'm here in California, and I'm grateful for being around like-minded people that support you in any which way and show unconditional love and don't judge, and just you can be yourself, and you can understand that you're not by yourself and you're in a security of love and appreciation. So thank you.
Grand Rising, Max. This is Shanine. I'm also from Los Angeles. Grand Rising, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're from, and welcome. I am so grateful to be here once again with all of you amazing people to collaborate and share and build into our future.
Well, thank you. Thank all of you. And we're just grateful because we understand that the foundation of gratitude can give us all the joy we want, that happiness and success and prosperity and significance is really a decision. And I'm really excited today. We have a special guest speaker that's one of our own. He is the author of Network and Grow Rich. And he's an entrepreneur that started and helped to scale 5, 6, even 7-figure businesses. And he now teaches others to do the same. You know, what's really amazing about him is that he has a certain area of expertise. And I always knew he was smart. I mean, I've known this guy for years, but in some areas, I would say, go as far to say he's even a genius because he helps people. And I think the biggest thing about him is that you can be smart, but also kind of self-centered. He has a big heart and he absolutely has a passion for helping others. And I've experienced this over and over again. So I want to introduce to you, and I'm really excited about the training. I've had little samples of it. Please take notes and you will learn something that can help you not only in your life, but in your family, the people in your lives, in your community. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend and my partner, Mr. Alexei Musienko.
Michael, oh my God, thank you so. I'm speechless. Thank you so much for those amazing words. And it's a true pleasure and honor to show up for this amazing community and family and share some of the wisdom that I had to learn the hard way so they do not have to. And, you know, this time is really about you and not about me. I'm here to serve this amazing community and to add value in ways that is not only worth your money that you are investing into this amazing project and community, but it's also worth your time, because once you invest the time or you spend it, you can never get it back. So I'm always mindful of that, and I would love to make sure that you spending this time with us is truly adding value to you and making a difference in your life. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. I do have some slides. I think that will help the process go a little bit easier. Let me just go ahead and select them and share them. And here you go. Let me make sure to play them for you so you can see them nice and big. So the talk that I wanted to share this morning is really centered about you and how do you or how can you live an extraordinary life now. See, people live life sometimes in quiet desperation, and sometimes their life is good. But what makes that life extraordinary? What gets you out of bed with a smile upon your face and really gets you to do things that you otherwise would not think about or would not even dream about? See, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And I do want to preface this, and you are learning from a professional failure. And before you actually turn off the recording or stop listening, I do want to explain what I mean by that. The truth is I have failed in a lot of my ventures, I failed a lot in my life. And the truth of it is, I'll probably failed more than most of the people on this call all put together. But see, I've also learned through the process. It wasn't just my failures that came into my life, but the valuable lessons that I paid with sweat, blood, and tears for. And I would love to share them with you as my way of paying it forward and really helping you create that life that you wake up with a smile upon your face and you see, and you ask yourself, how does this day get better than this? Or how does this life get better than this? So let's get started. You know, the truth is, what if you could live your extraordinary dream life now? Like, I really want you to think about it, not just as a question, but really get deep with that question. What if that was a possibility? And how can we actually make it happen? See, there's actually two ways we can do this presentation. I can share the presentation that I've shared all over the world on different stages, and it'll be a good presentation. You'll learn a lot and you'll take away a lot. Or what we can also do is have some amazing fun and make this time not only valuable in information and content, but also have a blast. Because one of the things that I believe in life, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing, because we all have limited amount of time, and how we spend it makes our life different, special, and amazing. So in the chat, go ahead and put one for my world-class presentation or two for an amazing time. And if you're putting two in the chat, I do want you to realize I do need one thing, and that is your participation, your energy. I'm going to have some fun questions, some fun exercises, because listen, it's all about you and you start to live that amazing life now, not someday. See, I want you to really start living your life, not just existing through it. How I know that? Because I was that person that lived my life in quiet desperation. I was making the money. I had the dream homes. I had the dream cars. I had the beautiful fiance. And yet, because I was missing purpose in my life, I became depressed and suicidal. And you would ask yourself, how this person who's successful get into that state? Well, sometimes purpose can mean a lot more to us than just, as I said, living your life day to day, going to work, and just repeating the cycle again and again. So I see a bunch of twos, which means you guys want to have some fun. So let's do it. So the way I want to start this teaching and presentation is this. These are the three simple words that changed my life. And I would like to share them with you and really show you what they actually mean. So let's talk about first word, which is mission, or sometimes I actually call it also vision for your life. What does your mission and vision look like? And do you actually have an idea? What does your ideal dream life look like? See, with working with hundreds of people through my consulting and even more with speaking, I realized one thing. One of the biggest problems that people tend to go through is the fact that they haven't taken the time to get clear on what is that truly going to create that joy in their life. It's going to create their happiness and get them in, not just to exist through their life, but to really live that life. See, let's imagine that I'm able to give you the GPS of success. This is the amazing tool, and it can get you anything that you want. But there's a catch. What if that same tool had two key factors? If they were missing, that GPA of success would truly be worthless. And this is the time of participation. I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think some of those key factors might be? So go ahead and unmute yourself and share. I would love to hear what you think. Michael, Joy, any ideas?
A desire.
I love that. That's an amazing answer. Michael, any thoughts?
Just inner passion, as you said. Without a life without passion, without purpose, sometimes not worth living.
Mindset.
Nice. mindset. Those
Inspiration.
are, wow, those are really amazing questions, but they're not quite what I had. And you do need those things to make this amazing GPS work. But the things I was thinking about is this: destination and current location. Think about it, right? If we are going to go to a destination, we need where we're going and where we're currently at. That's what the information that it needs to actually create a plan of driving, right? And same happens in our life. See, one of the things I always talk to my clients about is this: when it comes to destination, it doesn't matter whether you're on a bicycle, in a car, in a plane, or a boat, or a jet. You're not getting there unless you're clear about your destination. And that's the first point that I want to really highlight, to make sure that we're actually taking the time to define what that actually is. And more important is to write it down, because it was Harvard School of Business. They did a study that showed that people that wrote their goals, they were 97% more likely to actually achieve them. To me, those are staggering figures. And I want to make sure that you guys are set up for success. So let's make sure to write down those goals, because when it's written down, it's actually real. That is the first step of manifestation, and bring that big dream into the physical form by writing it, and then we can act on it. And then when it comes to current location, really do want to think about where we're at. And just like whether it's in personal training, meaning getting better with your health, we really need to know where you're at. And please understand, there's no judgment, because everybody starts somewhere. And I really want you to think about when you are talking about your current location. So when it comes to destination, I want to touch upon 3 points that I have found again and again appearing when it comes to my life and the lives of others that I was able to touch. Sometimes you gotta dream again. And see, what I invite you to consider is this: whether it's sitting down in the comfort of your own home and taking a journal and just taking the time without judgment, writing everything that might come to mind. What kind of car you might drive, what kind of house you might want to live, what kind of people you might want to surround, or maybe what is the type of food that you would like to have on a daily basis, and what kind of experience would you like. Go as crazy as you would like. This is not the time to judge or to even look at your reality and qualify whether that dream is possible. This is the time to be a kid again, to dream big. Do you want to be a spaceman or a fireman? See, I actually know of a gentleman who wrote his dreams on a piece of paper. There were 9 of them. And one of them was actually to go to space. See, the fact that he wrote it down, that he kept it in his heart, he took action, he actually achieved that dream. He went to space with the Russian program, and he made his dream possible just by clarifying it, writing it down, and then taking action towards it. So that's truly important. And then we can work on other things like creating a smart plan, and then creating that first step. The other framework that I actually talk about all the time when it comes to this is this. First, you have someday. This is where you just openly dream. Then you talk about one day. These are your SMART goals, where you put actually a date. Maybe it's 5 to 10 years ahead, but you at least get the goals of the area that you would like to go into. And last but not least, it's today. What is that small action, when repeated, will actually get you to your results? So hopefully that gives you some guidance when it comes to dreaming big, but starting small in a powerful way. Then if you don't have a dream, maybe you are one of those people that just, you're in crisis or maybe even survival, and you don't know what your dream might be, or you're not in a space to dream yet. One of the things I share with those people is this: what is your greatest challenge? Because overcoming that challenge through the power of your experience can be that dream. Because once you overcome it, you can share it with others. And fulfillment can really fill your life in amazing ways and allow you to see what kind of life that you would really love to create out of that mess because when your mess becomes your message, you create impact and your life changes. And last but not least is destination. And what I mean by that, or direction, I guess, is what I mean by that. If you are not even able to identify a problem that you would like to solve and create a solution around, consider finding 1 to 3 to maybe even 5 people that you really admire, that you love their life, that you would love for your life to be more like theirs. And then what you do is you start following them, maybe through social media, maybe they have a book or a course. And now by just creating that momentum, that's the key, that's the secret, because once you commit to something, you start moving to the direction. Here's what ends up happening. If it's not the right direction, you will pivot and you will dial in that true dream of yours, that true amazing life. And that's how you create a greater and clear destination. And when it comes to current location, this is what I talk about all the time, right? First step on the scale. Please don't judge yourself and just allow yourself to write down, or just to even think about, where is it that you're truly at? Because everybody starts somewhere. At one point in my life, I was depressed and suicidal. I did not know where my next gas tank or my meal was going to come from, because I lost that clarity. And for me, in that moment, I was there. That is where I started. And that was my scale. And my next thing that actually got me out of that situation was just getting out of bed and brushing my teeth. And then I ended up stacking the habits until I built a life that I really love and get to share with others what I do. And then I want you to consider to creating a life snapshot. What I mean by that, before you really move forward, take the time to write down, what did the scale show you? What does your life look like? Who do you talk to? What are the conversations like? What kind of car do you drive? What kind of house do you currently have? And all other sorts of details that actually come to mind to document where you're currently at. Here's why this is important. When you actually commit to your dream life and you start taking action, sometimes our mind will discount the wins that we actually create. So we don't realize when we're actually growing. So once you've actually created this letter, I want you to put it away somewhere where it's safe. And then within 6 months, check that letter, read it, and see how much have you grown, how much closer you've actually gotten to your dream life. And last but not least, after you created that life snapshot, I want you to consider, what is that gap between your dream and your current situation? That's how we come up with a plan. It's not a judgment. It's just a simple step-by-step process that you can take. Just by committing to it and going forward with it will really make a lot of the difference. Now, I would love to share the second word that changed my life, and that is mindset. Mindset can be taught in many different ways, but I'm going to try to simplify things the way I understand them, and hopefully you understand it with me as well. So when it comes to mindset, I really go back every time to the teaching that I love to do and talking about your story. What is that core story that's running your life, whether you realize it or not? Is it that you may be too old, or maybe you're too young? That was part of my story. Or maybe I wasn't enough. See, at a point in my life, I asked myself, who would listen to me? Who would spend their time? But yet, when I chose to step out and step into my light, into my greatness, some people didn't get it, but some did. And that's the key. They were happy. They were thanking me for sharing my area of genius. And I want you to really think about that. What can you do? Can you share from your experiences, your story, that can make a difference for others? And here's one of the pivotal moments that I actually sought when it comes to your story. I talk about this all the time, is that you can have a story and it can run your life, or you can share a story and you can change or even save a life, because that was my case. My best friend was there for me in one of my hardest moments, and that was the relationship that kept me here, that kept me sane and allowed me to move forward. And then when it comes to that story, what was the moment that created that story? really think about it. Because once you're able to identify the moment, you can release it or heal it. So therefore, it's no longer going to run your life. Because in that moment, the third step, you created a meaning, whether you realize it or not. But see, I want you to really think about the meaning, and does that meaning really truly serve you? Does it move you forward towards your dreams in life, or does it actually keep you back? Does it make you play bigger, or does it allow you to shrink and still play small because that story really is not serving you? See, which brings us to the last and final amazing word that changed my life is the power of the mastermind. And before I start sharing, I want to share a quick video with you why you might want to create a mastermind around your life and your dream and really create an unfair advantage that will not only make your dream possible, but make it probable.
As they mature, young males begin to explore the boundaries of the pride's territory. Red has ventured out alone. And blundered straight into the middle of the hyena clan. He's trapped by over 20 of them. The pack tries to wear him down. This number of hyenas could kill him. It's impossible to fight them all at once. He can't keep them at bay for much longer. He's tiring fast. His ally, Tartu, has heard the commotion. Now the odds have changed. Even for 20 hyenas, a pair of male lions is too much to take on. Red is lucky.
What I want you to consider is this. What if those hyenas were like the problems or adversities in your life? Those problems can create havoc in your life. But see, maybe Red wasn't just lucky. Maybe Red knew something that he didn't. That number one, as a lion or lioness, you're powerful beyond your understanding. But as a pride, you become unstoppable. And that is truly a power of mastermind actually shown in nature. This is what we can take away from this amazing quick video, but this is what I want you to think about. How can you create that family, that pride, or what I actually call the board of directors that would not only help you to live your life in a beautiful and amazing way, but to even create the impact from abundance. And that's really why you might want to think about creating a mastermind. Here's a couple of quick tips as well. For me, learning about the power of mastermind, I learned 3 simple things. One is that your environment is stronger than your willpower. For me, it was a $100,000 lesson. And hopefully, if you just take this and learn this now, you won't have to invest $100,000 to get the aha moment. Just please trust me on that. You want to make sure that you put yourself in an environment that allows you to grow. One, that is you're surrounded by the people that truly see your greatness and that can remind you of that greatness in your moments of weakness. See, for me, Michael and this amazing community is exactly that. They remind me whenever I feel down that I have greatness inside me. And just to let go of that story and to move forward and to create the impact that I can. And we get to do the same for every other member of this community. And that's why I love this family. Number 2, I really want you to share with me, what is 1 and 1? What is it actually equal to? Go ahead and unmute yourself, and I would love to hear some answers. Don't speak up all at the same time.
Well, you know, if I tell you the answer, because we've discussed this, I'll I know. So most people
But
think.
Well, okay, then somebody that doesn't know.
Is it 1 and 1, 2?
Well, that is one of the answers. And you know what? I'm not going to take a lot of your time because there's too much value that I would like to add. And I'll just say this. There's very powerful language in that statement. And the reason why I share it this way, 1 and 1 is actually 11. And that's truly the power of mastermind. When you put 2 minds together, the third is created. And when you add others, that mastermind just grows exponentially. And that's why you want to have a mastermind. And which brings us to a quick exercise that I always do with my clients when I bring them on. And it's your core 5. We're now starting to talk about how do you create that family, how do you create that board of directors that would not only serve you, but will serve your dream and the impact that you're looking to create. And here's the way I do it. I want you to take a moment and write down the 5 people that you spend your most time with. Just go ahead and take a quick moment and write them down. Once you've had a chance to do that, step number 2 is I want you to take the time and write down how much time do you actually spend with those people and what the ratio of that time towards your 24 hours. And what are the conversations that you're having? Are you complaining or gossiping or talking about problems or sometimes even politics? Or are you talking about investments, growth, and what are those next steps that you are taking towards your dream? Are you dreaming together and growing together? And last but not least, when it comes to those 5 relationships, I want you to ask a very powerful question. Is this relationship, is this individual moves me one step closer to my dream, to my impact, or are they moving me away from it? See, one of the things I've realized is this. You have amazing people in your life, and they are divided into 2 categories. Some of them like anchors. They will always bring you down, and then they will sink you. And the other people are like buoys. No matter what the storm brings, it'll actually allow you to be up top, to get that breath of fresh air so that you can keep going and you can get to your destination. And last but not least, this is what I talk about all the time, is that people can be amazing, beautiful, and you can love them. And if the people in your life are not helping you to fly, you got to realize those are the people that are keeping you on the ground. This is the hardest lesson that I had to learn, because my family was part of those people that was keeping me on the ground. I still love them. I will always be there for them, but I've also created a chosen family, a mastermind that allows me to grow and allows me to create the impact that I'm meant to create. So how do you create or upgrade your mastermind and create that to be an unfair advantage? I'm going to share a quick framework that I've used for years, and hopefully it will help you to do the same. One, finding your heart. We really actually talked about this. This is really getting to your dream, to what is that one thing that really matters to you, finding your why. See, one of the best ways to actually do it, write down 10, 15, or even 30 things that you love in your life, that you're willing to live for. And then take a look at that list and select one thing out of that list that you're actually willing to die for. See, what I'm willing to die for is creating connections in the life. That's why my company is called One Relationship Way, because to me, that's worth my time and my life. So what is that one thing that you are passionate about, that you're willing to die for? And as a lion or lioness, that you're willing to roar and not let anybody else tell you otherwise, because your message is important. And this is what I want you to keep from that. When it comes to finding your head, is really talking about a strategic mentor. This is an individual that's already where you want to be, and they're the ones that can give you a guide map or even join arms with you and move forward. Because the greatest time it takes to actually figure out the steps, why reinvent the wheel if the wheel is already there? Just find the person that's already done it, create a relationship with them, add value to them, and you'll exponentially increase and upgrade your mastermind. The third part is finding your legs. And what I mean by finding your legs is, who are those people that you're willing to serve, that you're willing to give? And here's an important key part. Please don't select people that are needy, but select the people that are deserving. There's a big difference, because somebody that's needy, they will always need something. But the people that are deserving, they're willing to take that step forward and meet you halfway. To me, that's the difference in the definition of the needy versus deserving. Then we're going into step 4, finding your arms. These are your strategic partners, right? What do our arms help us do, right? They create balance. We can walk, we can run with our hands. So these are other professionals or individuals. They might be even in different spaces, but they're on similar path of growth, and they are in a similar place of achievement in their life, so that when you actually come together, you can discuss the conversations, the teachings that a strategic mentor can share with you, and really get the most out of it. You know, get even the bone marrow out of those bones, just like lions would do. So that's what the arms allow you to do. And here's the thing about arms. They're the greatest factor when it comes to accountability. And one of the things when it comes to accountability that I always talk about, you got to have 2 arms. Why? Because if you have one accountability partner and life happens, you have none. So always have at least 2 or more. And last but not least, connect all of them together. Here what ends up happening then. 1, you create your circle of influence, meaning the people that are outside the circle will start seeing your light. Number 2, you create your actually inner circle. These are the people that you trust, know, and you get to play with and do life with, that allow you not only to be protected while you're going after your dream, but also allow you to grow that dream through that support. And last but not least, the third tier of the people that will come from it is what I call a power circle. These are the people that you create business with, that will help you no matter what, that will show up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Or if you even call them at 3 o'clock in the morning and you have a problem, they ask you, do I need to get on the plane? Right? Not, oh, what do you need? So those are the 5 key areas that you want to focus when it comes to creating your mastermind. I'm more than happy to answer any more questions around this process, because I understand that I'm trying to download 20 years of business consulting and mindset into this just small private training, but I think I've done my best to give you the biggest keys and those leverage points when it comes to your life. And last but not least, I'll leave you with this. This is my final gift to you. Well, actually, the gift before the final gift, and that's the 3 master skills of wealth. When it came to really analyzing many successful people and the actions and the master skills that you are able to achieve, it became actually simple to me. And hopefully you can learn from this and take it into your life, and it will change your life like it has mine. First, it's all about self-management. How do you manage yourself, your time, your resources, your energy, and who are the relationships that you choose to be in? Then the next greatest tier, it's almost like having a second gear in car, right? You wouldn't drive from LA to San Diego, which is a different city, in just gear 1. Can you get there? Of course, but it takes you a lot longer. So when it comes to gear 2, it's all about people management. How do you create communities, masterminds, and even teams if you have a business that will allow you to scale and get that additional leverage when it comes to creating wealth in your life, right? Because once you started living your amazing and dream life, you might want to have some wealth to go with it, to support your dreams, to actually finance them. And last but not least, it's all about opportunity management. And that means, where do you invest your time, your energy, and your resources to get the greatest return on your investment? So for now, my time is done, and hopefully you got a massive value from the special private training. Please take these lessons and don't allow them to be just entertainment. You've invested your time. Take 1 or 2 actions from this teaching and implement it into your life. And trust me, your life will never be the same. And then when it changes, go back to it and see what else can you learn, what else can you take away and implement, because I know once you allow these principles into your life will never be the same. So I'm happy to answer any questions or even hear some aha moments. What do you now see as a result of this amazing special private training?
You guys can unmute yourselves, please. And I just want to thank you from my heart, Alexei, for sharing. That was amazing. And I know some people would have some questions, or as you said, comments. My biggest takeaway was about the connection, about having some type of list. You know, they say it's going to be five years from now, you can be the same person you are, except for the people you associate with. And I'm just really honored to be in this community, which is like family. So you guys can go ahead, unmute yourselves, please. And I see Shanine.
Go ahead, Shanine.
Hi. So first of all, just thank you so much. It was delightful, and you got me thinking. Some light at points. The first one was environment for me, you know, and what does that look like? And you know, during these past 3-4 years, that landscape has changed for me quite a bit, and even the people that are in it. Right. So when you were talking about who are those 5 people, and it's like, wow, this I kind of cleaned house, you know, and but I think those are 2 of the key things that are coming in my space right now. And I'm really excited because I'm standing for not just situational friends. I think some of the people that I had close to me over the years were more situational friends. Right. So as I've also been assessing of who's who and what's what and how are we related to each other. And, you know, I was kind of being a little bit small when you are a person that serves a lot. Right. And if you're an empath, as I am, there's a lot of people that are needy, and understanding that distinction that you also met, you know, about the deserving versus needy. And I think that's a space where I definitely am pouring light and attention into, because that's hard. That's been a challenge for me. I know there's a lot of needy people, and I get sucked dry. And so creating healthy boundaries, really identifying with those distinctions about the needy and the deserving, and just keeping that environment fresh and healthy. Man, I'm so pumped because this is just such a reiteration of the things that I've been working on. So thank you so much for that.
You know, Shanine, the greatest leverage for you would be, and this is what I learned the hard way, right? I hit those walls with the wrong people because I was bending over backwards because I have a big heart. And
Yeah.
eventually it brought me to my lowest point because it was not sustainable. So I would invite you to consider, yes, looking for those people that are deserving, but for you, I would even go a step further, is truly connecting with the givers, right? Because not everybody is a giver, and you are. So when you connect with a giver, now there's reciprocity happening, and now you have that abundant energy flowing, right? Just like with the video that I shared, right? Is those people that will come aside, you know, and support you in your, you know, times of darkness of the soul. I think there's a term. So hopefully that adds value too.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you.
Oh, I'd like to say something. This was just a bigger eye-opening. You've been trying to talk to me, and it was like seeing it now, putting it, I was like, oh, I understand. Now I get it. Especially the part, and I was agreeing with Sonine about the people, the inner circle, the givers, and you know, the what is it, the whiny people, and the, you know, giving to
The
the ones
needy
that
and the
deserve,
deserving.
the needy and the deserving. And I started thinking about, oh my gosh, now I'm seeing the difference in my life. Who are the needies and who are the deserving? And it's making me rethink a bunch about my relationship and where I want to go, and letting go and being okay with letting go of the needy and the people that don't deserve my time any longer. And the 5 people, when you started thinking that, it has changed. I wrote down the 5 people without even thinking about, just wrote what was coming, the names that were coming to me. And it was different than when ones I thought I would end up with at the end of my life. And the ones that the ones that I thought, the 5 friends that I had, it's all changed, that they don't uplift me, whereas the new group that I have down are the ones that have uplifted me and encouraged me to live in my alignment, in my true self. And the other ones, I cannot do that. And it's just, it's a mind blowing for me, because it's changed how I had viewed where I was going to be at the end of my life with these people. It's so different. So I'm just, now it's just so much easier to just go with this and to flow with it and not fight it, because it's just so much easier. And I'm excited to even go even further with this. And thank you, Alexei. This was amazing. I love it. And it's just different perspective now on my life. Thank you so much.
Listen, Alma, it's
Oh,
truly
and
my pleasure.
yeah, I have
Go
one more
ahead.
thing, and it's so funny because you brought this up, and it's a little bit what my letter that I finally have it done has to say, and it's amazing. Where it's so funny, it was like, oh my God, that's exactly at the end. And I wrote it for 5 years, and 5 years ahead. So I'll, you know, and it's like, wow, it just, and then have you do this is just, it's mind blowing.
See, the
Thank you,
thing I
Alexei.
wanted to share, and what you really highlighted, is the true power of that simple exercise, right? Because that simple exercise, most people dismiss it or they don't do it because they think it's so simple.
Right.
But creating that awareness around the people that you surround yourself with, that you spend time with, is huge and a game changer. Because once you know who they are, and if they're actually moving you a step closer or a step further, it becomes very clear. And you don't have to, you know, get them out of your life, meaning like, oh, I'm going to cut you off. No, you still love them. You're still there for them,
Right.
but you just take a step back, you know, allow them to follow if they like. And if they don't, maybe then, you know, the transition is there, you know, for that person to transition out of your life that creates the greatest good for them and you. See, that's what I truly believe when it comes to relationships. When somebody is ready to go out of your life, celebrate it. Don't mourn it. Allow them to let go, because now you're creating that space for the right people to come into your life. The ones that you can collaborate, they would add value to you, versus trying to hold on to the one that didn't, whether you realize it or not.
Right,
So
exactly.
thank you for that.
Yeah, Alexei, I want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. Um, sharing your wisdom with us. And I know at times it can be difficult to step into the limelight, and but you definitely did an amazing job, kept it extremely simple, and made it very helpful for a lot of us, because one of my takeaways out of it was the people that want to soar with you, even from your family. And that one kind of hit home, because I have a number of people that I would feel that should be on your side and wanting for you to succeed, and they don't. And you have to, basically, like what you said, love them from afar, and understand that, your journey is different than other people's journeys. So you have to do your best in what you have, and have laser focus on it. So I wanted to say thank you for that.
Brava, brava. I totally agree. I totally agree. Can I jump in?
Give me one second, if I may respond to Max. Max, here's the thing. One of the hardest things I had to do, and it truly almost tore out my heart, is to say no to my family. Because my family is the thing that meant to support you, that meant to love you. And they do love you, but they love a different version of you that they see, right? So it stops you from growing. And when I looked at my life, and it's almost like I had a lost decade of my life, because I was putting everybody first but Alexei, where I wasn't putting the oxygen mask on to Alexei first.
Right.
The rest of the relationship suffered because I couldn't show up in my fullness. I was always showing up in lack, because I was going through thing after thing after thing, and I wasn't feeding myself. So that's why I always talk about, and we actually had this conversation, but I would like to highlight it in this moment, is that, one, protect your dot. Always love and protect your dot. And, there's another fun gentleman that said, even please your dot, right? What gives you pleasure? Second, focus on that power circle, create that power circle of like-minded people that will be there for you no matter what. Then you can have your, inner circle and circle of influence. And, to me, the family actually comes as a second stage of your, of protecting the dot. The dot comes first, then your relationship with your wife, right? Your family, and then your, that secondary family, parents, grandparents, kids, and all other things. And then obviously your, what I call a chosen family. And sometimes chosen family actually comes ahead of my own family, because they've added value to me time again and again. And I always want to be in reciprocity with those people. So sometimes when I have a chosen family, a person that needs something and they've added value to me, and then I have my own family that they need, but it's not a crisis, I will choose the chosen family, because that's what feeds me first, and then I'm able to give out abundance. So I just wanted to share that for you and everybody that's here, and actually watching the replay too. So hopefully you get some value out of that point.
Absolutely.
Julie, I would love to hear what you were sharing.
Yes, thank you, Alexei. I'm sorry I was late to the call, but I'm so glad I was able to be part of this training. The jump outs for me, the number one thing is you must move to a place of discomfort. And I think we have our strengths, and then on our weak places is where, I know for me, I tend to shy away. And the tutorial in building the mastermind dream life with the board of directors, because we all know everything is about relationships. So I appreciate that in order to go with the flyers, I may have to move into a place that doesn't feel comfortable at the moment in order to see the fruition. In other words, the Lord can take me to the river, but I need to put my foot in the water. And this really spoke to me about go with the flyers. Also the self-management, so valuable, such gold. we can function better and give more, be more when that first cut is for the Thanksgiving and the resources of rebuilding, recharging, making sure that we're experiencing the joy in every single moment. So that is just speaks volumes to me. It couldn't be more timely, this this tutorial, as I am actually just stepping off into this mastermind district and building the resources of the people management, the opportunity management to be able to be mindful enough to choose, not to just take what comes, but to mindfully decide what that circle will look like, and actually, through our previous resource energies, to be able to bring that to the table. It is possible to bring it to the table. And I also still always look at that onion when you talked about getting to the heart of the why, right? Because it's easy to say those general statements, help other people, be a soldier for the Lord, turn our ministry to the children, for health, but those are the bigger pictures. And I really appreciate your experience in going deeper with that and saying, no, pull it apart. What is the one true nugget that really needs to have the passion? But I am so blessed. Thank you so much, Alexei, because you are so incredibly valuable. I just praise God that I could be in this situation to experience this with this community. I'm so proud to be here. So thank you very much.
Yeah, Julie, one thing I did want to add real quickly is that when you have a true mastermind around you, right, that family, that pride, getting out of your comfort zone becomes fun. Because when you truly know that your environment, that your mastermind, that your pride has your back no matter what, now you get to jump faster, easier, and higher. And it just keeps compounding and compounding and compounding if you stick with the practice and you allow. So I wanted to share that.
Incentive. That's the incentive, right? Because when we first started talking about it, and it's because in the very beginning, you have to make the right choices to bring those people, because they're not here now. Who am I talking to? There's a dog. He's not very helpful, but he's very cute. So bringing those relationships in, I think is, I'm at that very front cutting, right? Just first cutting on the stone to say, who are the people that I desire? What types of people do I want to draw to myself? Because there is not the community there now. I'm just in a different matrix right now, right? My kids are grown and gone. I'm going to be celebrating my 60th birthday. So it's a really different thing. And I think the most important thing is the mindfulness, to, like we did before, see it, envision it, put it out there, put it on the paper. Do you see it? Okay, now focus and move myself into those other communities where I can be part of the group and begin to establish who has that vibration. Who is it that I want to draw closer to me? But yeah, you don't think you're not on the list.
Julie, you're so amazing, because honestly, you're inspiring me to share something really quick. So let me make sure my mind doesn't run too far. So when you talk about, those key relationships, the truth is, there's one point that's leaving my mind, but I guess I'll focus on this one, is that in my darkest moment, I couldn't not even think about 5 people, right? I'm like, I can't even handle 5. Like, who's the one, right? Who's that one person? And at that time, with my mindset and everything that was going on, I didn't see the value myself. So therefore, there was a lot of things going on through my head. And which leads me to the point I wanted to share is when it comes to mentors, there's 3 types of mentors that I've seen in my life, or 3 kinds of mentors, right? The first one is shadow mentor, right? This is somebody that you see a light in and you're looking to follow them. And for me, I started with books and podcasts because I did not have, like, I was part of the NFL, right? I didn't have the friends that I really needed for me to start growing. I had a lot of takers. Like at my 26th birthday, I had 300 people at my house celebrate my birthday. And when I thought about it, I could count on one hand, maybe the people that I actually wanted to have in my life. And I had to make that choice. You know what? I'm going to step out of that and I'm going to step in. And I went into the fortune of solitude. I started listening to podcasts, books, right? Eventually doing that allowed me to have 1 person, 2 and 3. And so shadow mentorship, that's powerful. The next is a gap mentor, right? Meaning find somebody that your ideal mentor, that strategic mentor has already trained, right? Because getting into a relationship with them, it's much easier because they're not at the top, but they still have the knowledge and the wisdom from the top. And when you create a relationship with that person, you add value to them. You coming together, you guys both raise to the strategic mentor and you reach out to them and you add value to him much easier and faster, which is that leads you to the direct mentor. So that's the piece I wanted to kind of add through your inspiration. And yeah, like that's what it is. You start with small crumbs and you just, habit stack, right? Everybody, and like, that's the point that I want to make sure that I deliver clearly. Everybody starts somewhere. It
Right.
doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you end up and who are the people that you choose to walk with.
Right.
That's the greatest key.
Right. Continue forward motion, persistence,
can we?
perseverance, never giving up. And even when I stumble or if fall forward.
That's right.
Yes.
Alexei, thank you. Hi, Julie. That was amazing. And Alexei, thank you for surprising us today with this presentation. It was awesome. I really do resonate with, those people that are deserving, and also finding your family, it's who you attract as well, when it comes to these people, coming into your life, that be your mentor or your new sister, these things come to you when you have the right intent. And you did a masterful job in providing us with ways to master ourselves and to master our surroundings. And that means be accountable. And you did mention going through the dark nights of the soul. I think that's what you were trying to refer to. Yes, and going through that means that you have to really deal with what's in the closet. You have to let them out. You have to deal with them, put them in perspective, and kick them out of your life for good. But you have to address it. You have to tell the things that are deep inside that you're holding, and it is a doozy. And if you say anything, it could ruin things. But you have to. You have to clear that monkey off your back so that you can be free. You got to step in those waters, like Julie said. You can take you to the water, but you got to put your foot in it. You can take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. But you have the power to do these things. And I am really thankful for your message today. You did a masterful job.
Thank you so much, Joy. One of the things that actually you remind me about, one of the greatest lessons that I learned is this. You train other people how to treat you. And
By
if
the way,
you
you
do
treat
not
them.
draw that line, they will cross it, right? And if you have that line of like, these are non-negotiables. If you want to stay in my life, here's what I will not tolerate. Your life
Yes.
changes. So having
That's so true.
standards, so
That's so true. And by experience, I've been offended, and, it's just like, okay, I'm going to continue to love you. You know, I'm still going to reach out, but I just can't give you my heart because I'm afraid you're going to break it. So you create these boundaries, like you said, but it doesn't mean you have to give up, right? So it was really good. Thank you, Alexei.
Oh, I'm tagging on that one, Alexei. Train others how to treat you. Use your inner strength to empower your permission to yourself for that assertiveness. Train yourself to be accountable to say, when you communicate with me, these are the ways of communication that work for me. When we discuss this, this is how I like it to go. When you do this, I need it like that. Amen, brother. That's a golden one.
Alexei, you did an amazing job. I'm really proud of you. And from the standpoint of someone who's known you for 13 years, and to see how you've grown and gone from shy and withdrawn and not wanting to share and not wanting to state how you feel and not wanting to talk to anybody to now wanting to talk to the whole world to share your mindset and your beliefs. I'm just so proud of you. And you look amazing too by the way in your outfit. So that's cool also. And your PowerPoint, everything was just wonderful. So I applaud you and I lift you up. And I want to just tell you did an amazing job. Absolutely amazing.
Love you, Janine.
Love you too.
Janine, thank you for sharing. And I want to publicly state that you're one of those key relationships in my life that allowed me to stay me, right? That allowed me the safety net, emotional safety net, to not give up on my dreams and what I was meant to do in this world. So, thank you very much for being who you are and show up in the world and creating more light, which allowed me to shine brighter because I saw your example and I just followed and I chose to do the same. And that's really, I believe, the true power of this community, that we can help others not only recognize their light, but to shine others.
I agree totally, Alexei. And from the standpoint of the person who took me as a really sick person and introduced me to our amazing water. And then when I was broke and had no direction, just spinning my wheels, and then you encouraged me to do the business, which totally changed my life. And then introducing me to this company to where 99.999% of my friends and the people in this world that care about me are all in a magic. And all the traumas and things that I've gone through in my life, and my children and Mike and everybody else, and you guys have always been there. So this all started with you, because I didn't want to drink your water and I didn't want to do your business and I didn't want to get involved in any of this stuff. So because you lovingly forced me to, my life has totally changed. And I finally can say that I've accomplished something in my life, because I felt like a failure at everything in my life. Failure at marriages, failure as a mother, failure as a businesswoman. And because of your introduction and pushing me to get involved in this company, I don't feel that way anymore. So I thank you for that as well. So, and thank you for your compliments. I receive it. Something I never said before until recently. So I thank you for that, for saying that, Alexei. Love you dearly.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Janine, down there in Cancun. Alexei, you, my brother from another mother, I've known you for over a decade, but it seems like a lifetime because you are about changing lives. And I want to just say that today was very special for me. I had a tip of the iceberg of what you were going to do. And as Janine said, the PowerPoint, you're giving, and I can tell you firsthand what you've met in my life. There are times, and I love that thing about the lions. You notice I was waiting for a whole bunch of lions to come, a big old bunch of big old older lions with big manes, and it just took one. That's, as you say, one relationship away. And there have been times in my life that you've come to my rescue. And I want to thank you from my heart to your heart, for all of us, for coming to our rescue in times of need, for sharing not only what you know, but who you are. And that is the essence of a person. This community is like family. And we all say that our second family, our family in spirit. And we're here for those of you that are coming on board or watching this recording. We have something special for you that comes from the heart, something that cannot be seen with the eyes of flesh, but you can feel it. And they say feeling is the secret. My brother, I honor you and each and every one of you that we come together in this hour of power, but there's 168 hours in a week. And I actually have a new way of saying it, 168 hours in a strong, because we don't have any weeks. What we do those other 67 hours is important. And the time you spent with us individually and myself personally to help us create this movement, this crusade, so that we can carry on our mission, which is to change the world one person, one family, and as you said, one community at a time. So we honor you. You guys unmute yourselves. And let's go ahead and give him a real hand.
But before you guys do this, I do want to say one last thing.
Sure.
And it's something that I end all my talks with. Make sure once you pray for something that you create awareness and the ability to see what's coming to you. But also never forget to turn around and look back, because you just might find the person that's been praying for you. That's the true value and my understanding of paying it forward. That it's as it's paid to you, you pay it forward to others. Don't give back, pay it forward. That's what it's all about. Life changes when you focus on service and impact, because the income comes as a result of it. And you know, the other thing I always talk about is this: give more than you can ever receive, and you will receive more than you can ever give. And speaking of the receiving, if you're here live or you're actually watching this recording, I have one final gift for you from my heart to yours. It's my life's work, and I truly believe it can make a huge difference in your life. You can scan the code, or there you go, scan the code, and it'll actually gift you a copy of my Network and Grow Rich book. This is how you create powerful relationships, add value to them, and then create collaborations. This is taking me a lifetime to master, and it's truly my pleasure and honor to pass it forward to you as my life's work. So thank you so much for showing up, for being you, for choosing to step into that light and into that greatness, because others will see your light and they will get just a bit of a permission to do the same, because this is what's all about. We, just like Michael says, I love his words, and I'm going to repeat them for you. We are born successful. We choose to become significant.
Wow. Thank you, my brother. Unmute yourselves, everyone, please. All right, there it is.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Lexi.
Thank you.
Alexi, the QR code is really up high in the corner, so I can't see it. And of course, I'm going through my phone. Is there another way or a link you can drop?
Yes, if you go to networkandgrowrich.com, that will basically lend you there as well.
Network, say it one more time.
Networkandgrowrich.com.
Well, thank all of you. We're at that hour of power, that hour of giving, that hour of receiving. Again, Alexei, from our heart to your heart, thank you for all that you do, seen and unseen. And for those of you, next week, we have another great surprise for you. Every day is a gift. That's why I say live in the now. Another word for now is present. Another way for present is gift. Love you guys. See you next week.
Love you guys. Have a great week.
Bye.
Love
Thank
you guys.
Bye.
Take care,
See you next
everybody.
week.
Good
Thank
job.
you, my
Bye.
brother.